Wuthering Waves and Genshin Impact are both completely different games, whether from the gameplay to the story. But there is one problem that Genshin Impact has that Wuthering Waves might catch, and that is its characters. There is almost 100 playable characters in Genshin Impact, although the more the merrier, but this ain't it, Chief. I'm guaranteed that almost everybody that plays Genshin Impact forgot that Shikano and Heizo even exist. So in this video, I'm gonna talk about power creep and also the upcoming issue where there are gonna be forgettable characters in the future, and also how to solve it. We all know that Wuthering Waves and Genshin Impact are a live service game, meaning that it needs more content as it goes. But the one problem about Genshin is that there are too many playable characters that eventually people give up caring about. And I meant this not as being power craft, but actually forgotten. And I don't want this happening to Wuthering Waves. Although right now, it hasn't happened yet, but if Wuthering Waves is going in the same direction as Genshin did, it will eventually happen. We will have hundreds of characters that no one will use. But as I said before, Wuthering Waves is a live service game, and they need new content to survive. This is also why power creep always happens. The newly released characters need to be stronger than the previous one, and that is why in Genshin Impact, a lot of characters are forgotten by the players. But who said that the newly released character has to be new? In PGR, old playable characters are mostly reintroduced and brought up into the story, making them relevant to it. And they also get a new and upgraded version of their character. By lore building into the existing characters, we can see the growth of the character as the story goes on, and will eventually grow attached to these characters. We can also see this example happening in Star Rail, with multiple versions of Danhungs, March 7s, Tingyuns, and Herdas. I'm not saying that Kuro games shouldn't make new characters. What I'm saying is they should improve on the characters that aren't in the spotlight. For example, Aldo's body exploded and they replaced it with robot parts. And now he's having anger issues because of his trauma. I mean, that will be a great main quest. Not only we now have a new 5-star character, but also a good story. Players will care more about Alto and be excited to see how he's gonna cope with his new robot body. But this doesn't solve the power creep problem. Power creep will always happen. But there are good ways of doing it and also bad ways of doing it. The bad way of doing it, it is as simple as to triple the new character damage and also triple the enemy HP. That way, the previous DPS cannot clear the new challenges due to the lack of damage. The good way of doing it is to make sure that the previous meta characters can also clear the new challenges. For example, Jinshi has been our go-to main DPS when it comes to the Spectral element, and Phoebe here is also a Spectral element. So what they need to do is not to nerf Jinshi, but to make it so that Phoebe is more efficient than her. Jinshi is a nuke, so if you don't hit the critical on the nuke, then it's GG, go restart the whole thing. Although her damage is massive, but it's not consistent if you miss. And because of that, she is not that efficient compared to characters that can miss their critical attacks once or twice like Jian. And Phoebe can play that role on the Spectral element using the Spectral Frazzle. So because of this, players can pull or skip her. Players that like Phoebe will pull for her anyway no matter what. And the players that don't have Jinshi will pull for Phoebe because they need a Spectral DPS. But the free-to-plays that have Jinshi can entirely skip her because Jinshi is already a good alternative. But then again, after a couple of new DPSs, power creep will eventually happen. So to combat this, Kuro games can implement leap skills. In Punishing Grey Raven, old characters that are still relevant can be upgraded to be stronger to defeat new challenges. And what I meant by upgrade is not only a damage increase, but also new animations and new movesets to play with. You can turn your old boring characters to new improved and cooler characters, although with a cost. These upgrade materials are expensive, but it's entirely possible to get them even in free-to-play. This way, there won't be too much of a damage drop-off compared to the newest character that is released. Even though all of this sounds like a utopia, but this is already a fact in Punishing Grey Raven. And all we need to do is give feedback and hope for the best. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have anything to say about this problem, then go ahead and leave a comment down below. And also, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Anyways, goodbye.